Hey mamas, and welcome to the Entering Motherhood podcast. I'm your host, Sarah Marie Bilger, a wife, mom of two, VBAC mama, and doula. Join us every episode to learn from professionals, special guests, and moms just like you, ensuring that you know what you need to know and discover things that you didn't know before. I believe in you. Let's doula this, and let's navigate the transition of entering motherhood together. Hey mamas, and welcome to Entering Motherhood. In this episode, we talk with Marissa Salemi, who is an occupational therapist and postpartum coach for E2M Fitness. Marissa is also a mother of three. She shares her journey into motherhood with us. She also emphasizes how important fitness is for pregnancy and postpartum recovery. She discusses some key exercises for pregnant women, and she also addresses some common concerns like diastasis recti and pelvic floor dysfunction. And Marissa highlights the necessity of self-care and physical activities for mothers, stressing that taking care of yourself also benefits the entire family. She encourages mothers to find creative ways to incorporate fitness into their daily routine and also just to seek support when needed. So you're going to love this episode because there is just so much packed in here, and Marissa is just so much fun to talk with. So with that, let's get this conversation started. Hello, and welcome to Entering Motherhood. I'm excited to get this conversation started. So how about we start off by you introducing yourself for the listeners?
All right. I'm so happy to be here. My name is Marissa Salemi, and I am a full-time occupational therapist, and I work with adults with developmental disabilities. And then I am a postpartum coach with E2M Fitness, and I have a pregnancy and postpartum exercise specialty certification as well as a personal training certification.
Awesome.
And I'm a mother of three little ones.
Yes, I love that. So how old are your kids, and what was your initial first experience of entering motherhood?
Oh boy. I have an 8-year-old Dominic, a 5-year-old Leo, and a 2-year-old Amelia. Entering motherhood is crazy. Anyone you've asked will probably say the same thing. It's very overwhelming, confusing, amazing. It's absolutely life-changing. Dominic was my first, and I had no idea what I was doing, especially when it came to like my body and the changes. I had no idea what to expect, and it was definitely a learning experience and one that has changed me forever.
So what were you doing when you got pregnant with him, or when you were trying to conceive? Like, what was that journey like, and what were you kind of doing in the fitness world or not in the fitness world?
I've always been fit. I've always been athletic. I played sports all through high school. And then in college, I worked out. I was very active when I became pregnant. And it was important for me to carry that through my pregnancy. And I did. I was still running until it was too uncomfortable to run anymore, which I think was about 5 or 6 months. I stopped for my own personal reasons because I just had pains down in my lower stomach. So I had stopped, but I worked out up until I was at a boot camp class 2 days prior to giving birth to Dominic. And I can wholeheartedly say that staying fit throughout that pregnancy 100% made it more bearable, the changes in my body, and as well as delivery. It was super important to stay fit through both. And as long as my doctor was on board and my body was on board and I had a good, healthy pregnancy, I did it for all three of them.
If you had to pick maybe 2 or 3 key movements during pregnancy, what are your favorite?
I would say squats was huge. You know, when women become pregnant, they're afraid. A lot of women are afraid to work out. They think they're going to do something to the baby. They think they're going to hurt the baby. But research actually shows that it can decrease a lot of issues with pregnancy, including miscarriages. Now, you obviously have to talk to your doctor when it comes to stuff like that, and there's different situations. But there is a ton of research out there that shows that exercise is extremely healthy and helpful when you're pregnant. So I would say like squats I did. I don't honestly any sort of strength training. You can do cardio depending on like I had a lot of round ligament pain. So cardio became a little bit more difficult for me, but walking, strength training, any sort of strength training. When you're delivering, women don't think about how much muscle you have to use to deliver. So they're like, what's the point of working out? Because I'm pregnant, I'm only going to get bigger, but you need a lot of muscles and a lot of strength to push that baby out. And I believe that all of those squats helped. And I told my doctor that while I was delivering. I told him I didn't do the squats for nothing, and I got those babies out quick and safely.
Yeah, I think squats are amazing. I love squats. I think it's also super helpful and important when you're in different positions and to have that leg strength, because a lot of times you might want to be in a deep squat, or you might be, just trying to hold up your body in labor. And so having very strong legs to be able to do whatever movements feel right in the moment is super helpful. And I've definitely seen the difference with my clients that, are like staying physically active versus not when birthing their babies, and even in my own personal journey of when I'm more physically active, the birth has been a lot easier to kind of like navigate.
Absolutely. And it's just, you want to like keep your body loose too. You have all these changes, like you have the relaxin hormone and everything, your joints and your ligaments become lax, and you have all this extra weight, and your center of gravity changes forward. So there's a lot of extra pressure on your back. So it's important to continue to strength train. Like you want to keep strength training your back so that you can support the extra weight that's going to be on the front. You are going to have extra weight throughout your whole body. So it's important to have the glute strength. It's important to have the leg strength. It just overall makes me more comfortable, because really laying around just puts extra pressure on your organs and stuff. And the movement helps with digestion and just everything. You want to keep breathing. You want to still maintain some of that core strength to help hold that baby up and reduce diastasis recti. There's so many benefits to it. I could go on, and it's just, and I've lived it 3 times. I mean, I will tell anybody that 100% it helped me.
Yeah. What would you say to somebody who maybe has never really been active, didn't play any sports, wasn't ever really like a gym person, and now they're pregnant and they want to do different things and do, different movements to help better their birthing experience and continue on through their motherhood experience?
A lot of, like, when I was pregnant, my doctors always said, and I would first said I would advise that they talk to their doctor, because you don't wanna try, if have never been active, you don't wanna all of a sudden take on, like, everything under the sun when you find out you're pregnant, because your body well, it might not be able to handle it. Being active is okay, and it looks different for everyone. So there's no problem, talk to your doctor and make sure that you're medically cleared, but walking helps too. Just
Mm.
a daily walk. I mean, you can stretch, you could do yoga, you could do Pilates, like more of the things that are a little bit easier on your body. They can definitely do that. You can become active at any point in your life. I would just say really be cautious and talk to your doctor if you have to, or you should talk to your doctor anyways. But always talk to your doctor, and then go ahead and start incorporating whatever feels good. Your body's going to tell you when you're pregnant what you can do and what you can't do. You're going to know if you're pushing it.
What are some things that you saw between your different pregnancies, and some things that maybe you weren't aware of or didn't have knowledge of before becoming a mom yourself when it comes to physical fitness?
I would definitely say that I did not know anything about diastasis recti or how to really heal my core before my pregnancies. I had my first son, Dominic, and I had 3 big babies. Dominic was almost 8 pounds, Leo was over 10 pounds, and Amelia was almost 10 pounds. So I had these huge behemoth children, and when I had Dominic, I went in knowing nothing. I had him. I was physically active throughout the pregnancy. I had a good birth. At 6 weeks, I was checked up on a Friday, and on Saturday, I had him in tow in the baby carrier walking into the gym. And it was a boot camp class. I had no idea. Like, I just wanted to get back into working out. I didn't know that I had to be careful. I didn't know what to look for. And I remember trying to do a sit up, and my stomach was just mush, and I had no abdominal muscles. And I was doing, now looking back, all the wrong things. I ended up healing okay and not having issues. After Leo, I had some issues with my core, and I was really struggling. And that's when I started to get educated on why. So I learned about diastasis recti, which is a separation of your abdominal walls. And 100% of women have this in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. And a lot of women don't know about it, and not everyone heals on their own, and they continue to have issues. I was having issues after Leo, and I learned about this. So once I became more educated about this, I started doing the exercises and the breathing that I needed to, and I noticed how fast my core healed. And then I had Amelia, and I went into that pregnancy knowing about this, and I was able to address this early on, and it really made a difference for my healing and how well my core came back together, and how my hip pain was decreased, my back pain was decreased. So that was one of the biggest things. I would say also, just with Dominic being a new mom, I just thought I had to sit around and breastfeed all day every day, which for the most part you do. I didn't move as much as I would have liked looking back, and I think I especially, like, I would sit around all day nursing like this, and I had a lot of back pain and shoulder pain. I didn't understand why, and I just thought it was part of, like, "Oh, this is just my new norm, I have to get over it." Well, now I know I propped my next 2 babies up on a pillow so that I was nursing with my posture
Mhm.
more straight up. I got up and stretched. I stretched my chest muscles. I strengthened my back. So, there's a lot of things that you learn through trial and tribulations that it's almost like you gotta go through it and then you learn about it, but now there's more resources out there too. So there's people like us that are telling people ahead of time, like, look for these things. There's help out there. You don't wanna be locked into these positions and uncomfortable and have all this pain, and you don't have to live that way. You don't have to live with diastasis recti afterwards. You don't have to live with back pain, hip pain, tight shoulders, all of that stuff. There's people out there and resources out there to help you.
Yeah. So with that, like, what can we be doing during our pregnancy, or what symptoms what might we see in the postpartum period that are kind of like red flags of you need to get this checked out, you need to like maybe start moving a little bit more, and also kind of being aware of that, like, bounce back culture. Like it's not necessarily like, oh, you have to like be this like pre-pregnancy body, but, like, it is also important to be taking care of our body and making sure that we're, like, our core is strong because, like you said, there's so many different things that come with that.
Yeah, it's super important. So people need to understand you go through so many physical changes when you become pregnant, and your spine curve changes. Like I said, your ligaments are lax. You are gaining all of this weight. Your body is changing, you're shifting. Even your feet can spread out and all of a sudden your shoes don't fit anymore. Just all kinds of stuff. The hip pain, the back pain, round ligament pain, SI joint pain. So your body's going through all of these changes. When that baby comes out, so many people think the baby's gone, okay, now it's just time to like jump back. Well, it doesn't work like that. It takes 9 months for that baby to be made. Your body needs to heal from the inside out afterwards. So you don't want to just push that baby out and think you're going back right back. It doesn't happen like that. You need to heal and you need to fix your core and you need to take care of your pelvic floor. So your pelvic floor is a sling of muscles at the base of your spine, and it's super important. It helps to kind of like support everything in there, your spine, your organs, all of that stuff. And everybody has a pelvic floor and they don't even know, most people don't even know they have it. That's where you can get pelvic floor dysfunction. That's where women that have had children are having urinary incontinence. They're flatulent. They have hip pain, back pain. Urinary incontinence is probably one of the biggest things. If you are having that after you've had children and you just think it's your new norm, it's not. It's likely a pelvic floor dysfunction. And then diastasis recti, it's the same thing. You can have that lower belly loaf. This would be like after you have the baby. That lower belly pooching, when you are doing core exercises or even while you're pregnant, if you're doing stuff, I remember with my second son, I thought it was like my party trick. I would tell everybody and I would laugh. My stomach would cone really bad, like it had this dome. And I'd be like, watch this. And I used to do it all the time. Well, I didn't know at the time that I was just pushing out on my DR. And so you have this connective tissue that goes up the middle of your stomach. And when you have DR, there's a separation. So if you think of your core like a canister, there's a weakness there. And I was bellowing out, like pushing pressure out on that weakness and laughing about it. Instead of doing the breathing exercises and the strengthening, like you can do a nice big 360 breath, breathe out and kind of control your core. That's why women can make their babies look smaller. You know how like we can make our stomach look like it's hanging, or we can take a breath and engage our core and all of a sudden the stomach's up here? That's you engaging your abdominals while you're pregnant. It's just there's a lot of stuff that you can look for like that while you're pregnant. If you do have SI joint pain and stuff, you want to be careful. You should go see a PT or a pelvic floor PT is wonderful to get help with all of that stuff because you got to avoid certain movements. Yeah, the DR I would look for that coning. Whether you're pregnant or after pregnancy, you never want to see that coning or doming. It means you're not engaging your core properly. And then again, for the pelvic floor issues, look out for that. Pelvic floor PT is a wonderful resource. Or like in our program, we give breathing exercises and we give core exercises, special core exercises, because what we're doing is we're strengthening that core from the inside out. We're allowing our bodies to heal. So my big thing is I tell women, you don't want to build a house on a weak foundation. So you build up that foundation strong and then you work from there and go back outward. And that's how you're going to heal. And that will help with your subsequent pregnancies as well, which is also super important.
Yeah. What is one of your favorite things about the work that you do and in helping moms?
I love it. I never knew I'm gonna be honest, I haven't always been this person that was so, like, eager to help people not that I didn't wanna help people, I love helping people, but I never knew I was going to do this, I should say. I used to make a lot of excuses for myself, and I wasn't very driven and motivated. I was kind of just like, just whatever, just kinda got through life as a kid, and then I became an adult, and living through my own pregnancies and what I went through made me realize how much women need help and how it's not available or it wasn't available. Now it's kind of becoming more talked about now, but a lot of the stuff is not talked about. And women truly don't know what's going on with their own bodies. After I had my daughter, I fell into this position with E2M, and the owner had asked me to come on as a postpartum coach. And I love it. I have thousands of women that I'm able to talk to on a daily basis. I can reach out to them through this platform and give them this knowledge that I have received so that I can help them understand and how to like bridge this gap between pregnancy, birth, postpartum, staying healthy, learning how to balance that life of becoming a mom and still being fit and being healthy and how to eat healthy and nurse. And it's very fulfilling. It's something that's so special to me because I know how much women need this and I know how important it is to these new moms. It's confusing. Nobody tells you anything about how to have these babies and how, no one talks about it. You're kind of expected to just get back into life afterwards. And it's just not okay. We need to talk about it. You need to know that it's okay to not be okay and kind of how to get there and that it takes time and to have the help and the knowledge to understand body changes and what to do about it. So it's just really near and dear to my heart. It's really special to me. And I feel like the program that I work for is special because there's nothing else like it. So this is a special safe place for just postpartum women on the page. It's an offshoot of our program, but it's a special place where I can give them this information and it's like a safe space for them to come for it if they need it.
Yeah. What do you feel is, I don't want to say like excuses, but like the most common reasons why moms might think they don't, well, I guess like not having time might be like an excuse, but like
Mhm.
what would you say are like the reasons why moms aren't necessarily, taking part in their physical activity?
100% no time, and we put ourselves on the back burner. Once you become a mother, you instantly put your needs last, right? I mean, the minute you find out you're pregnant, everything becomes about that baby and nothing becomes about you anymore. People will hold the doors for you, which is really nice. You might get a close parking spot, but everything's about that baby. And the mother, we so often lose ourselves during this time period. Because of the way society is, I feel like you're almost taught that, right? Like if you still do too much to take care of yourself and not the baby, you're selfish. You're selfish. You're not a good mom. You should be I remember being told that I will never be skinny or active again after I have kids because I won't have time and I need to spend my time with my kids. I was told. And this was my first pregnancy and it's scary when you hear this stuff and it's just not true. Time management is a huge one. I think a lot of new moms need to understand that there's not a time where like that baby all of a sudden wakes up and you're just like, "Oh, I have time to work out again." This is your new norm. You're going to find time for stuff that you want to do. If you want to get to the store and buy shoes, you're going to find time. You want to go to Starbucks with your girlfriends, with your babies, you're going to find time. So find time if it's important to you to stay physically active, make the time. I work out with my children in the gym with me. I used to bring my son to the gym with me. I would carry a walker in one hand, the diaper bag on my back, and him in the other hand, and I would go into that gym, and that baby would wander around in a walker while I was working out. It was a private gym, but you make it happen. And I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to work out now because I get my workout in early. I have 3 children and 2 jobs. I get it done early so that when like everything happens throughout the day and life happens, my workout's already done. I think those are two of the hands down biggest ones. But I just want women to know that it is okay to take care of yourself and it's important. Like you can't pour from an empty cup. So take care of yourself and a healthier, happier you will be a better mother for your whole family, a better wife, a better person. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you're showing your children how to live a happy, healthy life. Like I don't
Yeah.
ever want my children to think that they shouldn't take care of themselves. So why would I don't want to show that and that through me.
Yeah, I think, it's like one of those things like easier said than done sometimes, but it is like there's so
Mhm.
many new opportunities to bring your kids to the gyms. There's,
Yep.
a lot of gyms around here that you can go and there's a play area for your kid while you work out or, like they have some sort of childcare while you're doing your workout. There's a lot of home workouts. There's a lot of, different opportunities like things that you do we think, it's a bigger commitment than it actually ends up being. And what would you say to someone that's saying like, "Oh, like I don't have time." Like how much of a time commitment do you feel could actually make a difference?
Honestly, any movement throughout the day. Like, you could take 10 minutes. We all have 10 minutes. If the baby's in the bathtub, you could be squatting. You can hold the baby in your arms and squat with the baby in your arms. You can do tummy time with them and be doing a plank. So you just have to learn to incorporate it. And I used to think in my mind, and I will fully admit, I was a person that if I didn't have like an hour and a half carved out for my full workout, I was like, well, forget it. I'm just not doing it today. And then I would go to the pantry and I'd be grabbing snacks. 'Cause I'm like, well, I didn't work out. I might as well eat bad. And you go through and you quickly realize that these excuses they just add up and you're not hurting anyone other than yourself. No one
Mm.
cares that you didn't work out or that you're eating pantry snacks, but then you're getting down on yourself because you're not where you want to be. It's easy to make excuses, but you also have to give yourself grace, especially newly postpartum. There are going to be times where your child is sick and you've been up all night, and that's okay. Give yourself some grace. But you can do 10 minutes of stretching. You can fit in a little bit of movement. I wouldn't say that there's one size fits all of how much movement you have to have in a day. It's just any type of movement. If the baby's cranky, put them in the stroller and go for a walk. Put your child on a bicycle and go to a local track. You jog, they ride their bike. Pull their stroller, then you're working your arms and, go to the playground with them and do some pull-ups on the monkey bars. Like, you can make it happen. It can look different for everybody. If going to the gym for a full hour means something to you, then, go in the morning before they get up. We also have, like, the program that I work for, E2M. It's a home program. So all of these workouts can be done at home with your children right there next to you. You can put them on the television, you can put them on the phone, on a tablet, and you can sit there and do these 15-minute workouts, these 20, 30-minute workouts with your child right next to you. And then it's fun when they're sitting there trying to do the exercises with you and they're watching you and they're learning and they're seeing that they're is doing this and they think mom's strong. I just opened a jar of peanut butter for my son this morning that they couldn't get open. And he said, "How'd you do that?" And my 5-year-old said, "'Cause mom's strong."
Oh. That's so awesome. And they do see it and they do, respond to it. Even us if like we're going on a walk or like whatever it is, like they are like my 2-year-old is not saying as much, but our 5-year-old is very, aware of it and she knows and she does make comments like that and things. So it's cool to see that they see you and then they want to also go on a run or lift something or, work out, whatever it might be. And they respond to it.
Yeah, my kids are super active. They're in sports. My husband coaches. I'm right there. I coach T-ball. Like, we're right there with them. They see us. We're able to play catch with them in the yard. We play basketball. We play catch with the football. My husband is a hockey player. So he's out in the driveway playing hockey with them. And they see mom and dad being physically active. And for my Mother's Day thing from school, my son had to fill out all these answers about me. And it was like mom's favorite food. And he wrote salad. And he said something about mom working out. And we were having a conversation recently. He said, "Mom, you're one of the healthiest moms in the world." Like,
Oh.
and that's what they see. And they, we talk about it. We'll sit at the table and they say, "Why are you eating that?" And I say, "Because it's good for me and my heart." And they learn, they take in so much, the good, the bad, the ugly, they take in all of it. It's important to show them. And if you want that for them, if you want them to like eat healthy and take care of themselves and have this long, healthy life, then show them, right? I mean, actions speak louder than words. And like I said, there's so many resources and things out there now that make it possible. And it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to look perfect and be linear. It can just be every day you're just trying. You're just trying to take care of yourself and move with them.
Mhm. Awesome. What would be one final thing that you feel you would just want to like shout out or say to moms that are currently pregnant or newly postpartum?
Hang in there. This is a chapter. This is one chapter in your book, and you're the author. You don't always have full control when you're pregnant, but control what you can and just take it day by day, but take care of yourself. Don't put yourself last. You're not last. You're first. You ride in an airplane and they tell you put the oxygen mask on first because you can't save everybody else if you don't save yourself. And it's so true. But also, for the women that are listening, like I said, there are resources out there. I am a postpartum coach for E2M. So if they are someone that can't do this on their own and they need a program to follow, we do have that on E2MFitness.com. Like if you join the program, you are automatically allowed to come over to our postpartum page and have these resources given to you. So just use the knowledge that's out there, educate yourselves. I went into the first pregnancy blind, and I wish that I would have educated myself a little bit more. I was afraid, and so I purposely didn't really dive into anything, and I wish I would have because I feel like I would have been in a better place. And just know that there's help out there and that you'll get through this. That's my biggest thing is it will feel hard. There will be hard days. It will feel impossible, but we've all gotten through it. So you will too, and don't ever forget to take care of yourself and don't, you may lose yourself for a little bit through these transitions, but you will find yourself, and it's important to find yourself.
Yeah, I completely agree. So how can we get in contact with you, reach you? Where do you hang out on social media? And you kind of already mentioned the programs, but just kind of, again, like elaborate on that a little bit.
Okay, so E2M, we have a website, E2MFitness.com. So they can go out over there. We just launched some new stuff over there. Really exciting. So there's different program options. So again, E2MFitness.com, they can check that out. It has all the information. You can see everything that's available within the program. You don't have to find me specifically. If you join the program, I'm one of the many coaches that are there. There's a ton of amazing coaches. I am one of the postpartum coaches. So when you join the program, you are automatically allowed to go onto our Facebook page. You can't join it if you're not within our program. So don't try and find me that way. But I am on Instagram, Marissa Salemi. I share a lot of stuff about my kids and my crazy life. I'm just like everybody else. So yeah, but if they head over there, that's where all of our information is. We do have an Instagram as well, E2M Fitness. We have another program that's a strength training program with 15-minute workouts, which is really amazing. So that's always nice for moms. That's E2M Premium. So they can check us out over there as well. And that's where I reside over in postpartum land, helping all my mamas. I've got about 27,000 women in my group specifically.
Wow, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for, sharing the knowledge that you have and really maybe just getting the gears started or kind of like awareness around different things that we can be looking out for and doing and knowing that, you can start at anywhere at any level and really just keep on going from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, mamas, so much for listening. Remember, you are a rock star. I believe in you. Let's doula this. Let's crank it up a notch and let's kick it into high gear together. Hit that subscribe button, share this episode with a friend, message me, email me, call me, beat me. You know how to reach me. We're doing this, mamas. I am so excited to catch you here next week. This is your one-stop go-to place for helping you find the resources you need to make the best choices for you and your family during pregnancy, birth, and most importantly, postpartum. See ya later, mamas.